So in the last session, I explained you people what is the plan of action coming days, right? Let's try to enter in the subject today. If any language, mute the mics. If any language, if it supports object-oriented programming specification, then that language if it support object oriented programming specification, then that language have to that language if any language will support object oriented programming specification, that language we can call object oriented programming language. If any language, if it's supporting object-oriented programming specification, that language we can call as a object-oriented programming language. For example, if you are trying to talking about OOPS, object-oriented programming specification, OOPS, then, Sir Shiva, one thing. If I released one language name is called, if I release one language name is called Shiva. Shiva is one language. Assume that Shiva is one language. Shiva is language. Sir, one thing. We can call object Shiva is one language. Assume that in the Shiva language we are having a concept like hi and boy. So these are two concepts, guys. Assume that these two concepts are implemented object-oriented programming specification, then we can call object-oriented programming language. If any language, if it support object-oriented programming specification, then that language we can call as a object-oriented programming language, right? Now, for example, if you take Shiva language, having some concept, those concepts are design object-oriented programming specification, and we can call object-oriented programming language like this. In Java, what are the concepts is provided by Sun Microsystem implemented object-oriented programming specification. So we can call as a object-oriented programming language. One more time. In Java, what are the concepts? Concepts are available. Concepts are provided by Sun Microsystem. Provided by whom? Sun Microsystem. In Java, what are the concepts are provided by Sun Microsystem is designed or is designed based on object-oriented programming specification. So that reason we can call as a object-oriented programming language. So that we can call as a object-oriented programming language. Right, guys? Now, sir, what are the concepts having OOPS? What exactly is containing OOPS? First step, encapsulation. inheritance, then polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Right. Encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Sir, what it mean by encapsulation? Sir, I'm not giving any technical definitions today. Just I'm giving normal, understandable way of explanation, guys. Encapsulation. Encapsulation, nothing but what it mean by encapsulation? Binding a data. I can say binding a data or hold a data like this. So for example, I have less than symbol. In this less than symbol, I specified like greater than. Sir, Shiva is a content. The content is bind with less than and greater than symbol. The Shiva is a content, right? Shiva is a content. Shiva is one content binded with angle bracket. So can I say this is encapsulation? Obviously, you can say that is called encapsulation. It's called encapsulated because the Shiva is enclosed with angle brackets. Shiva is enclosed with angle brackets, right? Angle brackets, angle brackets. Shiva is enclosed with angle brackets. Try to understand. Shiva is enclosed with angle brackets. So, can we say this is encapsulation? Obviously, you can try to say that anything binded. Yes, I can say encapsulation. Yes, we can call encapsulated, but yes, we can call encapsulated. Yes, we can call encapsulated. Yes, we can call encapsulated. Right? Yes, we can call as encapsulated. But all encapsulated data we cannot call as object oriented programming language. Hey, if data is encapsulated, then can we say that object oriented programming language? No, guys. Any data may be encapsulated. All encapsulated data, we cannot say that this is object oriented information. Yes. Now, all encapsulated data we cannot call as object-oriented programming language. When we can call encapsulated data, when we can call Shiva encapsulated data, if it's called using a reference or meaning as object, then only we can call as a object oriented programming language. Encapsulate data, if it is called using a reference or object, then only we can try to call as a yes is object oriented programming language. Yes, we'll try to see this. Now, inheritance. What it mean by inheritance? Sir, one thing. If I using this inheritance concept, what is the benefit, Shiva? Nothing is there, sir. Sir, I'm using just normal definition. I will try to go for exclusive discussions again, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism in the after fourth session, guys. For example, sir, Sirisha. Sirisha having some properties. Sirisha having some properties. Then Shiva. Shiva wants to access these properties. What is that? Shiva wants to access these properties. Can I access directly Sirisha properties? Sirisha is my neighbor. Assume that. Can we access? No. Without taking the permission. Without taking a permission. without taking a permission, right? Without taking a permission, we cannot access, without taking a permissions, we cannot access Sirisha properties. Try to understand. Without taking a permission, we cannot access Sirisha properties. So once we take the permission, then we can access. But if you make a relation, yes, we can access. So if you make a relation with Sirisha, then we can access. Once we make a relation with Sirisha, we can access Sirisha properties directly. Shiva. It's called as inheritance because I married with Sirisha, then automatically Surisha properties I can access without taking information also. So my father properties inherited me. It means that what are the properties having in my father? Property documents, maybe diseases, maybe what is that? Documents automatically, and maybe his knowledge inherit to me. Because inheritance, it means that one person and another person, once you have any relation, yes, it will, the information will be inherited. Like this in Java also, one application information, if you want to use another application, yes, it will be inherited. Once you make a relation with one person to another person, or one application to another application, like this, comes under inheritance, inheriting the properties one application to another application. So still we don't know what is class and what is object, all these points. That's what I'm giving, controlling the statements, right? What is the polymorphism? Try to understand later. Then Java, I clearly mentioned in Java, what are the concepts are given by Sun Microsystem is designed based on object-oriented programming specification. So the reason we can say as object-oriented programming language. Now, sir, Java, who is the vendor of Java then? Sun Microsystem. What is that? Sun Microsystem. And Sun Microsystem is the vendor of Java and take over by whom? Oracle Corporation. Now, Oracle Corporation. If you ask anyone who is the vendor of Java, we can say nowadays Oracle Corporation instead of Sun, because we are habituated. So father is father, right? Father is father, right? Who is the author of Java? James Gosling. Who is the author of Java? James Gosling. Right. Java is a open source specification. Java is a open source specification. Open source specification. It means that once you're taking those specification, anyone can use, anyone can utilize in the application development. We are not required to take any permissions from anyone. Right. Java is a object-oriented programming language. Right. Java is a object-oriented programming language. Java is a object-oriented programming language. Java is a object-oriented programming language. Java is a object-oriented programming. Java is a object-oriented programming language. Next. Sir, Java features. I'm not talking about all the features here. First, let's try to start one by one, two features, then we'll enter in the next level. Sir, one thing. Java is a independent platform. Independent platform. Oh, what it mean by independent platform? Platform nothing but operating system, guys. Platform nothing but operating system. Right. Now, sir, one thing. Java is a object-oriented programming language, right? Java is a object-oriented programming. Sir, one thing. 1 minute. Java is an independent platform. So it means that, sir, I have a different operating system. Windows, Mac, Linux, like this. Java is an independent platform, nothing but it try to run different operating system. Windows, Linux, Mac, Windows, Linux, and Mac. Right? Windows, Linux, and Mac. Right? Windows, Linux, and Mac. Right? Then try to understand, guys. Windows, Linux, and Mac. Linux and Mac. So Java is an independent platform. It means that Java application can work any operating system. Java application can work any operating system. Java application can work irrespective of the operating system. Irrespective of the operating system. For example, if you are trying to working with Java platform, we can try to write once you are writing Java application without changing of a code. Try to understand, without changing of a code, without changing of a code, without changing of a code, yes, we can try to work in the Linux environment. Without changing of a code, we can try to work in any environment. You can any environment without changing of a code, yes, it try to work any environment, like this. Clear, sir? And Java application can work in different operating system. Java application can work in different application. Java application can work in different operating system without changing of a code. Without changing of a code. Without changing of a code. Yes, we can try to work Java application. Java is an independent platform. It's nothing but once you write Java application without changing of a code, we can compile and execute Java application irrespective of the operating system. Irrespective of the operating system. It means that any operating system we can try to work it. Meaning is next. JVM is dependent to a platform. Dependent to a platform. It means that specific to an operating system. So as per Sun Microsystem point of, as per Sun Microsystem point of, as per Sun Microsystem point of, as per the Sun Microsystem point of, Sun Microsystem point of, each and every operating system having separate software. Each and every operating system having separate software. Each and every operating system having separate software. Try to understand. Each and every operating system having separate software. Each and every operating system having separate software. It means that, sir, Windows Windows environment, Windows operating system, we have Windows related J2 SDK. And if you are working with Linux, Linux related J2 SDK software guys is given by Sun Microsystem. Mac, if you are trying to working Mac related J2 SDK, Mac related J2 SDK like this. Windows, Windows J2 SDK, Linux J2 SDK, Mac J2 SDK like this. Each and every operating system having separate software. Right, each and every operating system having separate software. So let's look at some download, download, download. What is the JDSJK software? Now, like this. See, look at here. Click here, Java, accept license agreement. See now, Windows 64-bit. According to your operating system, try to download Windows software. Windows 64, then JDK here. Windows 32-bit like this, right? Solaris x66 like this. Then Windows 64-bit, click here, then 64-bit, yes, we can download. 32-bit, you can download this one. According to your system configuration, you can try to go for downloading the particular software. Clear, sir? Now, click here, JDK 8U60 Windows x64.exe. Understand, sir? Now, if you click like this, it will start downloading like this. You can try to go for installation. Now, sir, once we downloaded, then try to click next. Windows installation is very easy, sir. Windows related installation is very easy. We are not required to work hard, guys. Then, once installation is completed, once installation is done, one runtime environment will be generated. Is nothing but JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And on top of JVM, on top of JVM, on top of JVM, we can work with Java applications. What is that? On top of JVM, we can work with Java application. Try to understand. On top of JVM, we can work with Java application. One more time. On top of JVM, we can work with, right? On top of JVM, we can work with Java applications. We can work with Java application. We can try to otherwise we can try to compile and execute Java application. We can compile, execute Java application like this. So if you are working with the Linux related J2SD, Linux related JVM will be generated. If you are working with the Mac related JVM will be generated. It means that each and every operating system having separate software. Once you install this software, separate runtime environment will be generated. That is nothing but JVM. So I can say JVM is dependent to a platform, nothing but specific to one operating system. Specific to one operating system. Sir, one thing. Once we install Java's JSE software, nothing but J2 SDK software, it generates two folders. One is JDK Java Development Kit version. Second one JRE Java runtime environment version. For example, assume that once we downloaded JDK 8, then assume that JDK 1.8, right? Then once we downloaded JRE 8, it comes like this, two folders. So once you download 1.7, the version, then it comes like JDK 8, JDK JRE 8, right? Sorry, JDK 1. If you assume that once we downloaded 1.7 like this, JRE 7 like this, JDK 1.6, JRE 6, right? Now, once you downloaded 1.7, that's what I mentioned version, sir. According to which version you downloaded, it comes like JDK, the particular version. I think understand, right? Now, Shruti గారు నేను క్లాస్లో ఉన్నానండి, right? JDK 1.5, then JDK 5 like this. Clear, sir? JDK 1.5, JDK 5 like this. Look at, sir. C drive. Where you installed, I installed in software in my system, guys. Let's show you, sir. Java. Look at 1.7 I installed. JDK version, JRE's version like this, right? Now, so once you installation done, then what is the next step? How to set the path? What is that? How to set the path? Then start. Right click on my computer, properties, advanced, environment variables. Look at first step. What is the difference between user variable and system variable? Question comes in mind. What is the difference between user variable and system variable? Try to understand. What is the difference between user variables and system variables? What is the difference between user variables and system variables? Sir, one thing. User variables are specific to one user. System variables are irrespective of the users. For example, in my system, I have two users. One is Shiva user, one is guest user. If I logged on Shiva user, if I'm setting the path on user variable specific to Shiva only, if I set the path on user system variable, irrespective of the user, maybe Shiva, maybe guest, yes, I can access my Java application, can compile and execute Java application. So user variables are specific to one person. System variable, irrespective of the users, can use to compile and execute Java application. Let me try to configure user variables. Variable name. What is the variable name? Path, 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 variable value. Sir, up to bin, JD inside bin. Whatever executable files required to use in application development, all the exe files is available in this bin folder. Try to set the path up to bin here. Take up to bin, copy and paste here like this. Click OK, click OK, click OK, done. Like this we can set the path. Like this we can set the path. Like this we can set the path. Right, guys? Now once you set the path properly, properly path is set or not, we want to check that. In that case, open the command prompt, use javac Java C, nothing but compiler. Java C, nothing but compiler. Java C, C compiler. Click here. It comes like verbose mode like this. It means the debugging mode. So many messages will come like this. Then you can assume that path is setted properly. Then after that you can try to use Java keyword. You can submit. Then you can assume that yes, we can try to work our Java application. My path is set properly, no issues on this. Then sir, if you're typing Java C like this, assume that Java C is not recognized. Java is not recognized as internal or external command, operable program or batch file. If you come message like this, if it comes message like this, what will happen guys? If it come message like this, what will happen guys? If it come message like this, what will happen? Then the problem will come. It means that yes, path is not setted path properly. Assume that Java is not recognizable as internal or external command. If it comes, then can assume that path is not setted properly. Try to check to path one more time, meaning is right. But we got perfect messages, then we can assume that my path is right. We set it properly like this. Sir, once we set the path like this, the next step, try to habituate. What is that? Sir, if you know the Oracle commands like SQL commands, like inserting, updating, deleting, at least basic commands, it's fine. If you don't know, let's try to plan to start practicing on now itself. So let's try to download Oracle software, because core concepts maybe takes 10 days to 12 days. Then meanwhile, once we start practicing with core concept, then we'll get confident guys. Along with the core concept, try to we practice SQL queries. If we once we know, that's fine. If we don't know, let's try to practice and try to download the software, keep it ready for next level. Download Oracle. Right, download Oracle. So Oracle Database Express Edition. Click here. Now 11G Express Edition. Accept license agreement. You can download according to system software. Windows 64-bit, download this one, right? Then 32-bit, you can download this, right? Linux, download this. Clear, sir? Windows 64-bit, then 32-bit, then Linux 64-bit, right? And according to system software, you can download. So in my system have a 32-bit, then I download this one. Otherwise, you can 64. Sir, once you click here, first it will ask you to log in the Oracle site. So first step, we have to register. Create account, register in the Oracle site, and it generate username and password. Then try to log in. Then it will be downloaded. Assume that. Right. Right. Oracle, assume that Oracle, once we started downloading, I mean, one zip file will come like this. Once we download it, assume that one zip file is coming, some name. Then this zip, try to extract it. extract. Once extracted, Oracle 11G. Then one folder is created. That folder some files are there. Inside this setup, try to install setup file. Try to install setup.exe like this. Clear, sir? Then, sir, once you install this setup, then installation time, it will ask username. You can give any name, then give like system. Then maybe it will ask you the password. What are the password you are providing? Try to remember the password. So I'm giving very simple password Siva123. Got it? Very simple password I'm trying to providing Siva123. Then, sir, and I can remember what are the password you're specifying installation time. Please try to remember. Then assume that now installation is done. Right now, so you can check like this. Use command prompt. I'm trying to using command prompt only user interface to interact with the database software. Now, show how to connect the database software. Now my installation is done. Then you can use SQL plus, then enter username. Then what is the username? System. What is the password? Shiva123 like. Then it comes SQL prompt like. Then once it comes SQL prompt, then you can assume that. Yes, perfectly what? Then assume that perfectly installed, right? Fine, sir. Then Oracle software you can install like this perfectly. Then once Oracle software install, just if you try to recap your SQL knowledge. If you don't have a knowledge, let me know then personally. Then I can guide you how to learn the SQL easiest way. Right. Then once installation is completed, guys. Sir, one thing. First 1 week we try to work with. Manually. It means that instead of using IDE tools, integration development environment tools, we try to use notepads to work at. To work with manually, we can use notepad or edit plus. Edit plus also one type of notepad, right? Notepad right? Notepad, edit plus, notepad plus. Any one of the notepad you can try to use to design to write your Java application. So notepad is not that much of colorful, guys, like this. Okay, so I don't like to write the application in the notepad, so you can try to use edit plus, also one type of what? Notepad only. It's a little bit colorful. Then but edit plus is a commercial version, but even if you can use downloading trial versions. Download edit plus, click text free trial, right? Next, Shiva, one more notepad is there. Notepad plus plus. Download notepad plus plus. Download notepad plus plus like this. Download notepad plus plus. Click download. Clear, sir? Download notepad plus plus. Click download. Understand? Download notepad plus plus. Right? Click download. Understand, everyone? Click download. Then it will be downloaded. It's a free version. You can try to use then. So I'm using Edit Plus. You can download anything is fine. Next. So Commenting Java comments. How to comment in applications, sir? How to comments? Sir, we can comment in three ways. We can comment in three ways. We can comment in three ways. One is HTML comments. HTML comments. Second one is the SQL. Single line comments. Single line comments. Then multi-line comment. Multiple line comment. Then third one, documentation comment. Documentation comments. Right. Single line comment, multiple line comment, and documentation comment. Right. What it mean by single line comment? Single line comment, it means that it commented a single line, only single line. How to comment, Shiva? Using backslashes. Two backslashes. Using the two backslashes, we can try to comment. Then it call single line comment. Two slashes, we can comment like this. Any single line, we can try to comment using two backslashes. Multiple line comment slash star. You can try to comment more than one line like this. If you want to comment more than one line, we can try to use backslash and star. Documentation comment, two stars. Then end with single star and slash. End with single star and slash. Got it, sir? Like this, we can try to work it. Then single line, multi-line, right? Single line and multiple line comments. Understand, everyone? Single line comments, right? Java application, multiple line comments, right? More than one line. Then third one, documentation comment. What is that? Third one, documentation comment. Documentation comment. More than one line, we can try to document it. So once you document it, then we can, if you want to comment, yes, we can try to use like this. Slash, two stars, star, one single star, end with this. Now, sir, one thing. Let's try to enter in the application instead of the report. Right. So in Java, we have a keyword name is called class. We have a keyword name is called class. Class is a keyword. Class is a keyword to create a structure of a Java. Structure of a Java. So class is a keyword to create a structure of a Java, right? In Java, we have a keyword name is called class, right? In Java, we have a keyword name is called class. Class is a keyword to create a structure of a Java, right? In Java, we have a keyword name is called class. Class is a keyword, right? In Java, we have a keyword name is called class. Class is a keyword to create a structure of a Java, right? In Java, we have a keyword name is called class. Class is a keyword to create a structure of a Java. Class is a keyword to create a structure of a Java. So open the brace and close the brace like this. This is a structure of a Java, right? Then after, to design your Java application, this structure should be follow. Meaning is, sir, after class after class keyword, we can specify any logical name. Try to understand. After class keyword, we can specify any logical name. Try to understand. After class keyword, we can specify any logical name, right? Any logical name. It's not a mandatory. It's not a mandatory to specify any name. You can give any name after class keyword. You can specify any logical name. It means that I can use Shiva, I can use Sirisha, I can use Rani or SSV, or I can use anything. Class, what is that? Class student. I'm giving a name is called student. Then, as per the programming standard class name start with capital letter. So, as per the programming standard, class name start with capital letter. One more time. As per the programming standard, class name start with capital letter. As per the programming standard, class name start with capital letter. It's not a what? It's not a understand. As per the programming standard, class name start with capital letter. It's not a mandate. It's not a what is that? As per the programming standard, class name start with a capital letter. It's not a mandatory, sir. It's not a mandatory. It's not a mandatory. It's not a mandatory. You can give even small letter also. Start with a capital, but it's not a mandatory to specify only capital letter. You can use small letter. You can try to give any name, but as per standards we should be follow when you are trying to designing, right guys? As per the programming standards, class name start with capital letter. As per the programming standard, class name start with capital letter, right sir? Next, as per the programming standard, class name start with capital letter. That's it. Now, sir, file name and class name should be same, but it's not a conventional rule. It's not a conventional rule. It means that it's not a mandatory principle. You can have a different name, but try to habituate. Use file name and class name should be same, but it's not a conventional rule. Sir, one thing. And how can you understand this is a document file, this is a text file, this is something else? Sir, one thing. Doc is a documentation file. Doc is a documentation file. Txt text file. Doc documentation file. Txt text file. What is that? Doc is a documentation file. Txt text file, like this. Seeing a .xls, you can understand, oh, this is an Excel file, like this. Seeing of the extension, we can understand, oh, these are the so and so file, right? Like this. In Java, we have one extension name is called .java. .java is an extension. .java is an extension, right? .java is an extension. .java is an extension, right? .java is an extension, right? .java is an extension. Seeing of this extension, I can understand this is a Java file. Seeing of this, we can understand. Let me try to save it. Then I clearly mentioned first 1 week we try to work manually so that we can understand where exactly exceptions are generating. I created one folder name is called Lakshmi. Then create student. Then see now student.java. Oh, seeing of this .java, I can understand. Hey, this is Java file, right? Next step. Right guys, dot Java we can try to use after class name. Now, so what is the file name? Class name, file name should be same. It means that what is the class name I mentioned, the file name also I mentioned the same. Right? Like this. Next, class inside we can define variables and method. Class can have variables and methods. Variables and methods. It's clear? Class can have variables and methods. Right. Anyway, what is method? Syntax. How to create a method. So I can say understandable one. Method is a set of statements. Set of statements. So I'm feeling no one doesn't know anything, sir. Okay. Then is the lemon people. Like that, I'm trying to go for the one by one step. Maybe maybe today, maybe tomorrow we'll go in the advanced level a little bit. Then method is a set of statement. Method is a set of statements. So method we can classify two types. One is predefined, sorry, user defined method. Second one, user predefined methods. Predefined methods. So what is the syntax of the method? Return type. Return type any logical name. Any logical name like this. Return type any logical name. Return type any logical name. Return type any logical name. RUTURN. Return type any logical name. Return type any logical name. Return type any logical name. Method we can classify two types. One is user defined method. Second one predefined methods. Method we can classify two types. One is user defined method and second one is predefined method. Got it, sir? Method we can classify two types. One is user defined method. Second one is predefined method. Predefined method. Got it? Method we can classify two types, user defined method and second one is predefined method. Right. So return type, right? Return type. So what is meant by return type here? Then return type indicates it return any information from the method, or return type indicate return any information from the method, or it's not return any information from the method. So maybe it can return or not return. Maybe it can return or not return. So user defined method. And once you're designing a method, generally what we design, what is the return type? Okay. We have one keyword name is called void. Void is a keyword. Using void is a keyword. If we using this, once we use this, we cannot return any information from the method. Void is a keyword. It's using this we cannot return any information. We can try to use the return type void before the method. It's not return anything. So look at this. Void is a return type. Then any logical name I'm giving add like this. Open the brace. So you can try to write addition like this. Seeing of the method we have to understand. Oh, seeing of the method we have to understand what operations we are trying to performing in that particular inside the method. Sir, one thing, method as per the programming standard, method name start with small letter. Try to understand. As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter. As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter, right? As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter, right? As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter. What is the small letter? A, B, like this. But this is not a conventional rule. Maybe you can try to use capital letter. That's not a matter. But it's not a rule. Right, guys? As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter. But it's not a conventional rule, right? As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter. But it's not a conventional rule, right? Method we can classify two types: user defined and predefined, right, guys? As per the programming standard, method name start with small letter, but it's not a conventional rule. Maybe conventional rule means it's not a mandatory principle. You can use capital letter, but habituate to write the rules and regulations perfectly. Then see now, sir, if I am writing sub, yeah, I can write it. Seeing of the method itself, we have to understand. Oh, this is so and so like this. Then wide multiplication. Like this. I think understand everyone. So method we can classify two types: user defined methods, right? And like the seeing of the method we can understand why is the return time. It's not returning any information from the method. For example, you added some two values. Those, I mean, what are the result is generated in this method? We are not giving back to anyone, because you use a void. Void is restrict. You cannot allow to return any statement from the method. Right, guys? Next, predefined method. In Java, execution will start from predefined method name is called. In Java, execution will start from predefined method name is called public static void main. In Java, execution will be start from predefined method name is called, right, main method. The fixed ones are fixed syntax. Then, if you want to print any information on application development, if you want to print any information on console window, command prompt, or in that case, we can try to use system.out.println. Then you can try to write here what are the statement you are writing. The statement will be print on console window. Welcome to Siva online training. Like this. Welcome to Siva online training, right? Welcome to Siva online training, like this. Sir, let me try to open. I open command prompt. I clearly mentioned I'm not using any tools now, right? And so I'm trying to compiling and executing on command prompt itself. Let me try to run it. CD desktop, CD Lakshmi, because my application where I saved Lakshmi folder, right? Then Java C. What is the file name? student.java. Compile. Then once you compile, dot class file will be generated based on the class name. Dot class file will be generated based on the class name. Let me try to open. Right. Oh, okay. Right. Then student, right? Now let's try to compile. Look, it's a dot class file will be generated. What is the class name? Used it. So whenever you're trying to compiling, once you are pressing enter, it will check path is setted properly or not. Path is setted properly or not. Once we set path properly, try to understand. Once we set path properly, right? Once we set path properly, it checks that syntactically any mistake is there or not. If you don't have any syntactical mistake, happily it compiles. Then when you are trying to running Java student class name, then it will be print, hey, welcome to Shiva online training, like this. This is the way the message will be displayed on console window. Dot class file is containing bytecode format. It's converting executable format like this. Very good. Sir, one thing, and I mentioned here clearly, method, what is that? Method name start with small letter, right? Okay. Next, one more point I'm introducing. Java is a case sensitive. Java is a case sensitive. What it mean by case sensitive, anyone? If you have a small letter, entire the application you have to use small only. Once you have a capital letter, you have to use capital letter only. Java is a case sensitive each and every statement, guys. So here small letter is a predefined method. In execution will be start from here only. Then assume that if I use a capital M, then what will happen if I'm trying to compiling and running, sir? Sir, one thing. When you are trying to compiling, it checks that what? Path is setted properly or not. A, wonderfully we set the path. No issues on that. Then syntactically correct or not. What is the syntax of method? Return type, method name. First these two things, once you have assumed that perfectly set method definition, you return. Yes, I have written wide, main is there. So yes, it's perfect. And small letter, capital letter, our wish, you can try to have it. So we are not getting any syntactical mistake. Happily it compiles, generate dot class file. Now, when you are trying to running, once we are trying to running the application, it checks that, right? Once we run the application, try to understand. Once we run the application, it checks that predefined main method is available or not. No, I have a capital M. It not understand because Java is a case sensitive. It throws error. Look at this. Main method not found in class student. Please define the main method as public static void main. Right, guys? Like this. So use small letter. Right. One more point. Method should have a return type. Method should have a return type. It's a mandatory. So main return type is what? Void. I removed void. Then what will happen, sir, is the mandatory I mentioned. But even though you removed, then when you are trying to compiling path setted properly or not, yes, wonderfully path is setted, then it checks that syntactically correct or not. Is right or wrong? Obviously is wrong. Then error. Invalid method declaration. Return type is required. What is that? Return type is required. Is a mandatory. We compilation time itself we are getting error. So why it is a mandatory? Shiva, I'm removing a static keyword. Then what will happen? Sir, before going to compile and see this, let me try to explain what is static keyword first. Static is a keyword. It acquires a memory before execution of application. Static is a keyword. It acquires a memory before execution of application, right? Before execution of application. Java, then student. And press enter. When you are trying to run in the application, press enter. Sir, one thing, acquires a memory right before execution of application. Then it means that what will happen? One memory location will be created like this. When you type Java student, when you are trying to running the application, Java class name, immediately one runtime environment will be created. This runtime environment technically we can call as a static context. In this static context, static related information will come and store it. Static related information come and store, right? Static related information come and store. What is that? Static variables and static methods, right? Then, sir, assume that how to call the static related information using a class name. Using a class name. Using a class name, we can access static variable and methods. Got it, guys? So, sir, main method is static method or normal method? Note down, main is a static method, right? So obviously it comes and store inside here. Then class name, I'm not using any class name to execute this one. Then how it works? Then when you type Java student, then inside the JVM it will be load in class loader. Then JVM is trying to calling using this class name and this main method. Then main method start executing. Sir, if you're removing a static keyword, it will not come and store inside the static context. Then it's not possible to call from JVM. So use static keyword along with a main method. That's the reason unable to call. Let me try to first here. Observe that return type already I mentioned. Then compilation time, we are not getting error. Runtime. Look at main method is not a static in a class student, right? Main method is not a class like this. Right, sir? Like, right, sir? Right. See now, main method is not static in class student. Please define the main method, right? Like this. So the static keyword is mandatory, sir. Sir, public is a keyword. Then once we use this one, we can access any environment, meaning as public is a keyword. Using this keyword, we can access any, right? We can try to access any logical name, meaning is, right? Right, sir. And now, Look at now, like this. System dot, and we'll try to understand public one more time in the coming days, sir. String also one more time, right? System dot out dot println. If you want to print the information on command prompt, we can, any information we can try to take SOP statement. Sir, one thing, sure, can I write SOP statement outside the method? No, we cannot. System dot out dot println the statement, the syntactical mistake, so we get compilation error. We cannot write outside the method. When we use, where we use, yes, try to specify like this. Clear, sir? Right. Sir, we'll try to continue next session. Then same time tomorrow 8:30 we try to meet, and we'll see that what is variables, how to create a variable. Sir, tomorrow session is very important. Tomorrow session is very important. I'll try to cover non-static variables integration, different ways of planning. Right. We'll stop it here. We'll meet again back tomorrow then, and we'll try to continue. So any questions, please? Any questions? Try to add me on Skype so that I can forward a recordings. Thank you. Any question, guys? Any question?
No, Shiva.
No, sir.